everybody, it's your pal Gab. You asked for it, you're getting it. I am going to deliver one mental health video a week. And I figured since May is Mental Health Awareness Month, this was the perfect month to start. So every Monday, I'm going to do a mental health awareness video. And today's video is entitled Mental Health Confessions. Okay, confession one is that I talk to myself. I talk to myself both in private and in public. To the point that sometimes I've seen people looking at me strangely and I realize, oh, oops, I was talking to myself in public. And other times I've actually had people call me out on it. Like really, like one time I was setting up for a show at a school and a woman came into the room and I was just full blown talking to myself, having a complete conversation. And she was like, hey there, you realize you're talking to yourself? And I was like, yeah, I do. Sorry about that. Sorry. So yes, I talk to myself. Confession two, if you've ever seen me out in public or you know me personally, I always have either a rubber band or a hair tie or some type of elastic thing around my wrist. My first really great therapist I ever had, she had me put this on originally for bipolar disorder. Her thought being when I started getting really manic and sometimes my brain goes into like another level, she would tell me to snap it so I could snap myself back to reality. But what I find myself doing more these days, since I suffer from anxiety a little bit more than anything else, is I'm always like kind of fidgeting with this, but that way when like I'm in a situation that's making me really anxious and I can't leave, I just find myself kind of doing this or just playing with it, or and that kind of helps me just like not lose my mind when I'm losing my mind. So yeah, I use I don't know, everyone has a different name for it. I call it like an anxiety band, but it's basically just a hair tie. That's pretty much it. On the theme of things that help me cope with my mental health, I am someone who finds relaxation and peace by rocking. And I also sometimes just tapping myself on my head. It's something I do sometimes without even being conscious of it. Like I notice this happening a lot at the end of the night. Like I'll come home from the gym and I'll shower and change, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed and like an hour has passed and I'm just sitting there like tapping my head and rocking. But it's usually because I have a lot on my mind and I'm really anxious, and it usually does help me cope and make me feel better. And I don't think there's any shame in it. And yeah, okay, this is a pretty big confession. I find that because I speak openly about my mental health and I am deemed a mental health advocate, that a lot of people out there think that I'm cured. And that is not the case at all. I am always struggling. I'm always struggling. Yes, I have better days than some, but the thing is, like, I don't take a daily bipolar medicine like most people with type 1 bipolar. I'm not on lithium, I'm not on Lamictal, and I have my reasons why I'm not. But because of that, my days are very up and down. So like I might in a week only have one good day. Sometimes in a week I have, I don't think I've ever had 7 good days, but I usually have more good days than bad. But the reality being, I find that a lot of people see that I'm a mental health advocate and they're like, okay, well here Gab, cure me or tell me, here's all my problems. And it's really overwhelming and daunting, and it sometimes puts me in a bad mood and makes me frustrated with other people who deal with mental health issues, because I just feel like I can have empathy for you. Why can't you just step back and realize like I have a lot going on too? Please stop burdening me. And it makes me feel badly because I get resentful of other people with mental health issues. Not children, not when I'm like at a place advocating, not if I'm the keynote speaker. I'm talking about like out in the real world. Like I'm about to go on stage to perform and you're like, listen to this. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I have to go do stand up right now. That's inappropriate. Have some boundaries. Have some self-awareness. I mean, half the time I don't leave my house because I have self-awareness. I don't want to burden other people when I'm manic or when I'm not able to control my mood. And I sometimes wish other people could do the same. And I feel guilty saying it, but it's the truth and it's a confession. So there you go. Ooh, okay. Because I deal with mania, I'm a manic depressive, but I'm manic all the time. The best therapist I ever told me that my personality type was hypomania. So there you have it. It's who I am. But because I'm manic, I do, other people might consider it excessive. but some people think I excessively work out. I don't think it's excessive because it helps me bring my mania down. But if I'm being honest, according to my Apple Watch, in the month of April, I worked out 60 times. So that's like twice a day. I don't think that's excessive, but that's a confession. When I was first diagnosed with type 1 bipolar disorder, I was put on an insane amount of antipsychotics, or psychotropic drugs, whatever you want to call them. I was on, at one point, 800 milligrams of Geodone, 1,200 milligrams of Seroquel. As a result of that, I now have a really bad, I don't know what you would call it, a tic, a tendency, I'm not sure, but it did something that now, if I'm not conscious, I chew and gnaw on my tongue, and I can gnaw on it to the point that it bleeds. And when my mom was alive, she'd always catch me and be like, baby, you're chewing your tongue. But now that I live alone, like Norman Bates, the ghosts aren't telling me, guys, so sometimes it's a bummer. I go to brush my teeth and I'm like, oh my God, is my gum bleeding? Oh no, it's my tongue. My tongue's bleeding. Good work, Gab. Good work. So there, yeah. Okay, this one I feel like if my mother were alive, she'd be like, do not confess this one. But come on, there's no stigma, no shame. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. I sometimes, when if I'm not getting sleep and I'm getting really manic, but I'm also like that irritated, like really bad manic, I sometimes can see things that aren't there. Not like people or goblins, but I tend to hallucinate like bugs and rodents. When my mom was alive, she'd catch me doing it. I'd be like, looking all over the place, and she'd be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, do you see that? And she's like, there's nothing there. So now I'm pretty good about, like, if I'm like, oh, is that a mouse? I'm like, no, you don't have mice in your house, calm down. But yeah, only when it's really bad, and that hasn't happened in a really long time, knock on wood. So yeah, but I do, and I occasionally auditory, but rarely. It's more like visual bugs. Sometimes I think I hear stink bugs, but I have a whole stink bug thing, so I don't want to get into that. But yeah, I see things. Ooh, if I'm being honest, and I guess I am because it's confessional time, if there's one single behavior that I have worked on the hardest in therapy over the last however many decades now, it is controlling my rage. Bipolar mania, sometimes when combined with depression, can cause rage and severe mood disorder. My rage used to be really bad. I would get so frustrated in my 20s. I would just punch walls. I would punch my car. I broke bones in my hand. It was really, really bad. I could not, it was always like self-inflicting, harm. So I had to really work hard on it. And, to me, like, if in a year, if once I like punch my desk or do something, it feels like I've relapsed. I feel so much shame. And I know I shouldn't, because it's like, oh my God, you've come leaps and bounds. But it really is something I've worked so hard on so that doesn't happen. And that is why I've always, like, Wolverine was always my favorite superhero, because I'm rageful, but I've worked really hard on it. And that's why I can't put myself in situations that will make my rage go up, because it's something I have to, it really, like, it's rough, guys. So yeah, it's something I've really worked on. I highly recommend meditation. I isolate myself due to my mental health because I have self-awareness and I don't want to burden my friends and family. And I know they would watch this and go, you're not a burden, but if I can take care of it and I can adjust my mood on my own, that's fine, right? And so yeah, I do isolate myself, but it's for my own protection and the protection of others that I love and care about. And yeah, so I'm a pretty isolated person, but it's with purpose. And I do think I'm getting a little better, and I can start trying to, like, socialize more. But every time I think that and I go into a social setting, I'm utterly overwhelmed and I just can't handle it. So I don't know, baby steps, guys, right? What about Bob? You know what I'm talking about. Ooh, and for number 10, my last confessional, it's sort of a two-parter. If I'm being honest, the phrase in the mental health world that literally makes me cry every time I see it or read it, and I read it the first time after Robin Williams died, which was check in on your fun friend, because I think that is a reality. And the biggest confession I have right now is I don't have a therapist and I need one. So hold me accountable, okay? I will catch you guys next Monday. I hope you guys like these mental health Monday segments. I recently did a keynote speech at a mental health disability summit, and multiple people during the Q&A were like, make a YouTube channel about this. So I was like, well, I already have a YouTube channel, so I'll dedicate Mondays to mental health starting this May. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves. Remember, no shame, no stigma. Mental health means soul wealth. I just made that up. Trademark Gab. Love you guys, and I'm gonna have more silly videos this week, so don't worry about it. Okay, hashtag Mental Health Awareness Month. Peace.